have been surprised that it hasn't been more of a focus on a lot of people's parts over for years now. We spent a lot of time last year. Me, Dave Barretto, John Drill, Kim was there, and we started moving forward, and I think there was an issue with money, if I'm not mistaken, that there was a lot of professionals doing a bunch of work and the brakes got put on. And that's kind of where it stopped.
Oh yes, the $100,000 year, the year that we had to borrow money against you.
Oh, well,
yes.
Yeah, I mean.
Did we do a site triangle?
We did,
so you did everything that you had to do?
Well, no, there was a parking memo relative to compliance of the property with the parking, if it was a permitted use, there was. It's got to be a year.
Triangle we talked about.
Yeah. Well, there's a site triangle. There's all kinds of issues. So to resurrect this would not be the biggest problem.
I get the impression from John Drill that all he needs is our authorization, and he will take care of it. And that's my recommendation tonight.
Absolutely.
And I want it done. I mean, I want it done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to hear. I just want to see action. And we've had a lot of dialogue. I'm not going to mention another property in town, but you know, we've authorized Brent to undertake legal action. And while it's been dilatory for years, guess what? Okay, just a little bit of focus and a day in court and skilled legal representation. We now have, a court and a judge saying that our ordinances matter. And I know that's what will be said. So if we have these things on the book, all it takes is a little bit of commitment and basically reminding people this is what's on the book and this is the way it is. I mean, it's not that complicated of an issue. I mean, that junkyard, with all due respect, is a non-conforming use and it has to stop. And we can't continue to look the other way. I mean, I know I can't look the other way every time I drive by it. And unfortunately, we've had a financial crisis that has really taken this township committee half of the year to correct what has been, as I've said multiple times, and as the auditor has said, abject neglect. We haven't had a chance to address these other issues because we've spent the entirety of this time in working to get our financial house in order. But now that we have a budget that's passed, we can start tending to all of these other items that, as I've rattled off, have been around for years. And again, even with the home, there's a process and a mechanism for it. And with respect to these three properties, I heard from council, we don't need to authorize. I heard from John Drill that he would like authorization, and I would like to make a motion to have this township committee authorize John Drill to execute and to take whatever steps are necessary to secure that property's compliance with our ordinances. And that would be my motion.
I'll second.
Any comment on that? Can I have a roll call, please?
Perez?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Toriello?
Yes. The other item, every time I drive to the end of Willow Grove, and I spoke to Michael about this, and we all know the substation that's up the road. And for the life of me, I don't know why there is a screening process or a barrier on 3 of the 4 sides. And the one side that there's no screening is the only visible side to residents. You come to the end of that street and you're looking right at the substation. But yet the fields behind it and the cemetery are all screened so you can't see it, where there are no people who could see it anyway. So if you could have only picked one of the 4 sides to screen, it's the one side that's not screened.
Yeah, it's true.
It defies logic.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
and the issue first came up to me when I was sitting in the audience listening to an application for a certain project, and there was
an application.
Yeah, and the application. And there was a discussion about redesigning, and even that proposal left that one side unscreened. And I don't know why. So I spoke to Michael. I said, look, is this something that I'm working with the power company? Maybe they would be willing to even chip in, or I can't imagine that would be.
We should have
He was
talked to
here
Sam
earlier.
while he was here, come to think of it.
Guy was right here.
Okay, it's too late now, but he was just here, I mean, in any
We'll talk to him.
capital audience.
But in terms of, well,
We all, folks,
You don't
Just
wanna
add-
put him, you don't wanna put him on the spot. right
that's
now
true
or
too.
something.
That's true. That's a good point. But I think we should address that and put some screening. I can't imagine it would be much money at all. It would be something that could be done in a day. You know, we don't have to get fancy, but there's arborvitaes on the three sides. If we want to keep it consistent, put arborvitaes in the front, you know, and just let's block it off and, you know, let's keep it consistent with the rest of the town so it doesn't look like we're driving through an industrial site in the bowels of Jersey City. Nothing against Jersey City. But I mean, there is.
and the big towns.
But it's at a big town. I only picked that because I used to work there. So we talked about that. We talked about that.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, what's the follow-up? I mean, the point, well taken, understood.
Do we need to authorize you to follow up with
Do I
that?
just call Lynn Geiger just to
Yes.
start and
Yes.
just see what the process is? And if because when the mayor and I spoke a week or so back about this, there's probably an optimum spot to plant these buffer plantings, whatever they turn out to be, whether they turn out to be evergreens or arborvitaes or whatever. There's also right of way. I mean, if the power company has a problem with this, we have right of way to plant these trees, so we can plant trees. I guess it'd be nice if it's a more of a cooperative effort and we talk to them. So I'll give Lynn a call and we'll go.
Okay,
from there.
great.
I'll just follow up with some emails.
Thank
Let
you,
everybody
Michael.
know.
Thank you. That's all the items I had.
I just wanted to go back to why I don't think you need any authorization regarding the ordinance I was talking about, and that's because the ordinance says whenever it appears to the health officer on his own motion that any dwelling is unfit for human habitation, he shall, if his preliminary investigation discloses a basis for such charges, issue and cause to be served upon the owner of the parties in interest in such dwelling a complaint stating the charges in that respect and containing a notice of hearing will be held before the Board of Health at a place here and fixed not less than 10 days, no more than 30 days after serving the complaint. So it's self-executing.
We never doubted your
No.
your sage advice.
But I
So-
I have to interject with a comment, and Kim,
Yes.
how, my gut feeling is that the mayor is not the health officer. Because,
The health department.
no, I know, we have a board of health and it's the committee.
Right.
That's different than the health officer. I deal with
Who
this
do you
in
think
all,
is? Who do you think is the health department? Is the health officer?
no, I think
Don't you want
it's,
to-
I think it's an appointment that chances are hasn't been
Hasn't
made
been
or
made.
doesn't exist.
Oh dear Lord.
Then let's make somebody a health officer. I mean, it's
Powers of the Board of Health or health officer.
yeah, I mean,
It says Board of Health or Health Officer.
oh,
Right.
that would be good.
Powers
It
of the
does.
Board of Health or health officers.
Oh,
It says the Board of Health is is hereby authorized and empowered to exercise such powers as may be necessary or convenient to carry out and effectuate the purposes and provisions of this section.
But there is a health officer, and it's supposed to be a non-paid position.
yeah, but we better make, if we're gonna pursue this, we better make darn sure that the health officer is the fella that's, or woman or person that's, don't you agree, counsel?
Yeah,
Well, we're all the Board of Health, right? I mean, we're all the.
So you have to
local-
designate a health officer.
So why don't we just make it the mayor as, and then just leave it that
All
way?
right,
why don't you do a motion to do that?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking. I mean,
Yeah,
before we,
yeah.
you know, it's just a suggestion.
Are
I'm
you
not-
gonna go out and do the inspections then?
Should we
I think we should
make it the engineer?
Well, no, because I am the health officer in a bunch of other towns.
Are you?
I
Are
think
you?
we should.
Good.
Oh.
And
You know what?
Well, that's
you-
even better.
You know,
Because-
he's good at this.
That's
He's
better.
already
No,
done
I'm-
the stuff.
no, I do this all the
Yeah.
time.
He has, yeah. you-
No, because the Board of Health is a jurisdictional entity which really doesn't operate that often because the county
The county.
takes over
Right.
the typical Township
Yes.
Board of Health issues.
Right.
The health officer is a separate person, an entity, and I don't think it should be a person on the Board of Health. That's why I was under
That's
the
fine.
assumption.
Because you're not
okay,
on
so
our
that's
board.
No, I'm not on the board.
Let's-
In fact, I haven't been to a meeting in years.
I make a motion
It's
that,
always made.
that it be the township engineer, Michael Finelli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I'll second.
Are you, okay?
I'm in favor of it
Any
too.
comment?
Oh, okay, Finelli Health Officer, so, okay. so
No.
Roll call.
Well, does Mike want to take that?
He
Yes.
just volunteered.
He just volunteered.
Keyword volunteer?
What?
Keyword volunteer?
You just
Or what's the cost of the township?
Yeah.
Okay,
hear what they said.
Perez,
Are they gonna?
Yeah, if he wants to accept it, yes.
Emiliani?
Yes.
Torriello?
Proudly, yes.
Okay.
Enthusiastically.
You know,
yes.
because you, and this is for.
Congratulations, Mr. Finelli.
And then you will
Thank you
work,
so much.
apparently according to this ordinance, you will work hand in hand with me.
It'll be my pleasure as always.
That's a congratulations and condolences.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
I'm glad I brought the ordinance to the meeting.
I am too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know you did it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with that, I have no more agenda items. Everybody will be happy to know. So I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Mayor.
Okay, at our last meeting, we had a discussion about open space contract, and we have received a new contract from Conservation Resources. There is a suggestion that we make a motion to authorize Resolution 2012-68, which is the resolution approving Conservation Resources, Inc. as our open space preservation consultant to assist the Township of Greenwich open space and farmland preservation matters from this day forward.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Any comments? Roll call?
Perez,
Yes.
Emiliani,
Yes.
Torriello.
Yes. I guess we will skip Tom's items.
Can you send, can
We
you
have
send
some things we
something?
need to address here with Tom.
What do we do?
Can you send John Drill a signed copy after the mayor signs the
Yeah.
contract, and send him the resolution?
And the resolution.
Yeah,
And then is John forwarding,
to Mike Sullivan, to just give it to give it to Dawn Marie, and
don't
to,
send this to the vendor?
Then he's already signed
No,
it.
but I mean.
It's already signed.
But they get a copy.
Right.
But John will handle that, I don't need to
Yeah.
forward this?
No, you forward it,
I
but
do,
send a
I
copy
send a copy to him.
John.
Okay. Okay.
or Mike Sullivan.
Okay.
His firm.
Mayor, he has recommended appointment of Mark Fornicari as alternate mayor for recreation.
Remember.
Member.
For fire department.
No, under recreation,
Correct.
under 12. He has recreation, appointment of Mark
Oh.
Fornicari, alternate mayor.
I see, okay.
So we would need to make a motion on that.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Any comment? Roll call?
Perez,
Yes.
Miliani,
Yes.
Torriello.
Yes.
And then also under emergency squad, David Gregory is a new member.
Make a motion.
Second.
Comment? Roll call?
Perez,
Yes.
Miliani,
Yes.
Torriello.
Yes.
Now, I don't think there was anything else, let me just check.
The rest of it needs to be tabled.
No, there's something with the National
Oh.
Fallen Fighters.
The only thing that I saw in email today, and I guess we could talk about it now, is the shortage of soccer coaches
Oh, yeah.
for rec. And, Angie has basically said that we're down 12 coaches. So it's really, there's no other way of saying it. It's a train wreck for the children. So I think we should probably, in addition to putting something on the webpage, maybe do an advertisement in the Greenwich Gazette soliciting volunteers to coach. And we can have, obviously, Angie provide the specific information, whether it's boys, girls, whatever ages. The email that I saw said 12 coaches. I don't know how it was broken out, but, whatever specifically we need, we should probably get an advertisement, as soon as possible.
The other thing was, she was looking for that home from graduation from college and maybe working or not working and have returned home and live at home. So I told her I would put some feelers out, but I think a global request is probably in order.
So, I don't know if we need a a motion to have you advertise, or is that something we could just take out of I guess, the,
No, we can just do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
and
get
then
it.
put it as part of your newsletter too.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But if we could get maybe, I guess, can you confer with Angie on
Sure,
that?
yeah.
In terms of specifically, so
Are
that at
we
least
gonna
the
advertise in the
She-
Greenwich Gazette
Yeah.
and then on the website?
She
Yeah.
gave me the parameters, so.
Oh,
I'll
you
send
have it
to
already?
you, Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
all right, yeah. So I think that's the only other.
Back to the
issue,
the firefighters, National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, they sent a letter to the chief, and they are requesting a notarized statement signed by an elected official such as mayor, county commissioner, et cetera, which states we have to, so I would make a motion to authorizing the mayor to do this.
I'm sorry, what is it?
What is
What am I?
National Firefighters, this is, he needs this, National
Tab
Fallen
what?
Firefighters Foundation is tab 6, and he's got 2 quotes here. Did Tom or did the fire chief talk to you about the 2 quotes and any of the funds or anything for the installation of it? No. Okay, right, then we're gonna hold off on that one too. 'Cause I don't know where the money's coming from with this, but the national thing here, if you read that.
Why are we insulating?
Um,
What is this for?
The insulating is, the
That's
cheapest,
the
the
difference.
cheapest one is, the second one is the $8,677. That is for the ladder truck that's out there. It sits in the bay door there, there's no insulation in there. So he wanted spray foam insulation in there for in the wintertime. All the other vehicles that are outside fire department ones go into the garages here, remove the DPW mowers and things like that. But, I don't know money-wise here, so I wouldn't do anything here yet because I gotta talk to Joe.
Because there may not be
Houses-
money in the budget.
I don't know where we're paying for this. I mean, he got his stipend, I don't know if, because I don't know if he didn't request this at budget time.
No, he didn't.
No. So
Well,
I
that's
knew
part of the
that.
21,000 he's getting.
That's where he's assuming it's paid for.
Let's clarify that first.
Yeah, so we're gonna need to talk, so we'll skip this thing here with the
Yeah.
installation right now.
Let's clarify.
But this
Sure.
national.
Well, he can use it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he just, we gotta make sure that that's his understanding.
Yeah.
The National Firefighters thing, did you read that letter?
I'm reading it now.
Barely read it.
I know,
It's for the, what this is the foundation is working with the Department of Justice to expedite the process of filing public safety officer benefit claims. And as part of this, they need from the township, pretty much stating that
we
Greenwich,
support it. We
yes,
endorse
that
it.
Greenwich Township is, per January 1 reorg, we have named them and designated them as our official fire company
Oh,
for the
okay,
township.
okay, yeah,
So-
okay, I got it. Yeah, that,
So they're
okay.
gonna need some verification. We're
Understood.
verifying that this fire company is
Mhm.
our fire company.
Okay.
So I just make a motion authorizing the mayor to sign, and I'll notarize
Somebody
the
want to make that
statement
motion?
I'll make the motion.
based off of the letter. Okay,
I'll
so,
make the motion.
yeah, make the motion.
I'll second it. Any comment? Roll call?
Perez?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Triolo?
Yes.
So the resolution is going to just address that they are our designated fire company as of January 1, 2012.
Well, what it says here in the letter is notice signed by elected official, which states the name of the fire is legally organized and is authorized by us to act on its behalf by providing fire services, which is based off of our resolution that we did.
Okay.
In the name of our township. So it's pretty much the resolution that we do in the beginning of the year.
Yep.
I just might have to revamp a statement. You know, it's not gonna be a resolution sending to them,
Okay.
but, a signed.
Oh, okay.
A signed statement.
All right.
Okay. And I don't know about this 2012 Fire Act grant. I know he had put in, he said in, well, you guys all got the email from Tom, right? Because he had spoke with Joe, his updates.
No.
No.
You didn't get the email from
No.
Tom? Tom didn't forward that to you as to these agenda items?
No.
I spoke with Tom
Right.
tonight and asked him if there was anything that had to be addressed. He said no.
These are the things, all right, I'm gonna
I
have
know.
to print out, I'll show this to you after executive session. These, because he had gone to different departments as to what needed to be taken care of for tonight in his absence. So I'll pull up the email. And we can address these other issues, but not so much the land lease, but this Fire Act grant. I just want to show you what was written, so.
Okay, is there
you can-
something, action
there
that is
something
required
I'm
tonight?
not sure. I need to go look at that.
Okay,
I'm
I
sure
understand.
you guys have seen it.
So look, take a look at it, let's table it, put that towards the end, and we can, if we need to take action, we can
We
do
can
it
come back to that
after
after
executive
executive.
session.
Right.
Okay. The only other thing I want to add now while we're on Tom's agenda is if you recall last month, we had a discussion about Ravine Road, and there was a suggestion about having input from the fire chief, emergency, and the police regarding Ravine Road. I did get a memo from Chief Guzzo, and it was not, the memo was sent to me, and I don't see that everybody was copied on it, so we may need to circulate copies for everyone. But in short, yeah, it was just to, it was just to me. There was nobody copied on it. In short, if I could summarize, or if you want me to read the whole thing into the record, whatever, the chief basically says it would be. I'll read his final sentence. As chief of police, it is my opinion that permanently closing their portion of Ravine Road is both a mistake and a public safety issue. If you need any further information, please contact me. In essence, the chief offers various concerns in that if it is closed from the Powhatan side, that it will cause problems for him. I can provide copies to everyone.
Yeah, that's it.
The short answer is we now have something from a township professional that has raised an issue and a concern.
And so then
We
Brent
need-
is going to send a letter to Cohat and include the recommendations made by our chief.
Yeah.
And should we quick get one from the fire
We
chief?
should definitely,
Yeah.
especially the
Squad.
fire
Should
and
get the
emergency
fire.
as
Harry,
well. I
did you
mean,
do one?
it-
You sent one to who?
To the mayor. I replied to your email request, and also I
I will
replied
get-
to all.
Okay, and an email.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I will,
Okay.
if you don't have it, I'll
I'll
double
check.
check it.
I don't remember
recall
seeing
seeing
it.
that.
Okay.
You want to carry the opinion? I mean, is everybody curious what is?
Well, it should be
Well,
in writing.
we'll take everything in writing and we'll give it to Brent, and Brent will incorporate everybody's concerns. And I guess you'll write the Powhatan or.
Sure.
And in fact, what I'll do is, quite honestly, this is better for you to have than for me, since you're
Who
the one
sent,
who's going to
us the
take
letter,
action.
Brent, talking about Ravine Road? Do you remember? Was it the engineer? Was their planning board or was it their attorney? No.
They might-
Yes, it was.
Was-
Because it was the
their
attorney,
engineer
because he
that sent us
wrote
a
about
letter?
Ravine Road, we're
No,
permanently
actually, it
closing
was
it.
included
Yeah, it was for
in
the
their
attorney.
attorney's letter to us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. Yes.
He
It
wrote
was
about
the,
Ravine
Yes, yes,
Road.
yes.
Ravine Road
Yes,
and
and
the lights.
the RLR.
Yes, yes.
He did the
red
Ravine
lights.
Road and then the lights.
Yes, exactly. That's,
It was, yeah. it was nice.
actually, I have a copy of the letter with me tonight. Yes.
I really-
Absolutely wonderful. You are the long chain of attorneys.
Okay, so that's it for Tom's items, so I guess we can move to Dan.
Yeah, I just had for one quickie, internet service for the emergency squad building, Kim?
I called today and I did call this afternoon, their rep that is handling our area that worked with the township, they were gonna leave a message for him. I don't know who it is. They said that they would have that person get in contact with me. I spoke with the girl at Service Electric, because we had a rep from Service Electric years ago that had come in and offered the services for the municipal building and the school. And they did drop the T1 line down there, it's just not hooked up.
It's, my understanding, it's in-house problem. All the discussions that we've had over the last 6 years is that somebody, our tech services.
Okay, well, he wanted me to
Greenwich
call
Township
Service
back up there.
Electric to speak with him about that, but so that's going to be a new point, because he's gonna call me and say there's a line there and it's in-house. So at this point now, it would be a situation of having our computer tech, who also did the services here, I think it was EDT Services, came in and hooked the modem up in the lines and got it live and connected it into the thing there.
Well, how did the
So-
fire company do it, Kim? Because the fire company has their own.
Right, they had.
They did their own.
And the school.
They did, right. And we did ours downstairs for
Right.
the offices here.
So as I remember, I think it was 2005, when we signed that franchise lease agreement.
Right.
Everyone was named in there, and everyone did their own after the T1 lines were dropped.
I mean, I could get in touch with Jeff Jewell from Jewell Computing and have him contact you to come in and go through everything and then get a price as to how much it's going to cost to hook up into it.
Cost to township or squad?
Squad. Fire department paid for their own, school paid for their own, and we paid for ours. The hookup. We don't pay for the service. We don't pay for them dropping the T1 line. That was an agreement in our franchise, and that's all done already. Everybody had to do their own as far as the hookup was concerned.
But how then,
That's
That-
not the
how
way
did-
it's explained to us.
yeah,
in the
how did
last-
they
Who
end up
explained
paying
it
for
to
this?
you?
Kim, that we were all gonna be under the same municipal services, the township, the firehouse.
You are under
You
the
would-
agreement
you will-
for complimentary hookup, and the T1 line was dropped. But it's not where the fire department or the school, they all.
Honestly, when he told me, I thought you were already hooked up to it. I
You
didn't
don't
know you were still
understand.
paying a
Yeah,
monthly service
I
charge,
do.
service electric.
Yeah, no,
I spoke
we've
to
had
Tom.
this discussion for the last 6 years, Kim.
Yeah, but I think what at least I'm hearing in terms of the discussion is, when we negotiated our franchise agreement, they agreed to run a T1 line, and they agreed that there would be no separate bill for usage, but it is up to you at the emergency to actually do the hookup to the line that has been provided for free, as was done by the township, the school, and the fire department. So everybody else has been using it because they hooked it up. Once you incur the cost to hook it up, then you won't have any cost per month to use
Okay,
it. You
well,
will
that's-
benefit off of what
Was
we have negotiated.
Right.
That's
So
what we've been
you don't have to
waiting to
worry
have.
about a recurring
Okay.
charge.
Yeah. We've
It's
been
just
paying our
that
own
initial
for the last-
hookup that you can secure to get it hooked up, but you'll at least have the benefit of whatever negotiations were done by a prior township committee. The line was run there at no cost to you, and you won't have to worry about a monthly fee. That would be no
Exactly,
cost
and that's
to you.
basically, I
So
mean,
it's a one-time hit to you, for lack of a better word.
It can't
to
be
get
more than
it hooked up.
$4,000, that's basically what we paid out in internet services, so I
No.
can't imagine. that.
No, my God,
No way.
no.
Well, exactly, that's our whole point, that's why we've been waiting for
Right.
that
Right.
connection.
It's there,
to be made.
it's there for your use to benefit.
We had these conversations, I don't know, did we have any letters or anything?
Did Jeff Jewell ever come
Chuck
to your
was
building?
No.
Because I remember talking with Chuck about this.
Chuck?
I have to be honest, Gary. I talked with Chuck about this, of having Jeff Jewell there and hooking it up. Because
That-
he's
We've
the
had
IT
this
guy.
discussion many times, and it's never happened.
Right,
Okay.
right,
So
and
do
it's.
you want me to, I mean,
Well-
do you want me to access with Jeff Jewell and get this hook and get
Yeah.
the quote and then give it to
Well,
you?
I
or-
don't really think it's your responsibility as the clerk. You've already, the responsibility of the service contract and the dropping of the line was done.
I mean, I can have our township vendor contact you then and do this.
But I think we can do this as a courtesy to our emergency squad, you know, just to help them with this, to get this done and taken care of. Obviously, you know, it hasn't been done, for whatever reason, it hasn't been done. You know, let's
If
just
I
get it
understand,
done.
it had
so
to be
it's-
done
It's a
through-
phone call, Dan.
it had to be
Give
done
me
through the
information,
township.
let 'em do it.
Yeah.
Give Gary the contact information. Give him the contact information so he
Since
can get it done.
2005, nobody knows
That's
anything.
all.
That's my frustration.
Yeah, he knows now, he can go ahead and do it, and then he doesn't have to worry about a monthly bill. So, we're all on the same page now.
That's fine.
Forget whatever happened in the past, give him the contact information, he can call, hook it up, and then he knows he's good to go He doesn't have to worry about next month whether there's going to be a bill. There won't be a bill. So we're good.
Speaking of Service Electric, I read an article in the newspaper. Since we are a franchise as well, I think we should follow Phillipsburg's, begin and have Service Electric tape our meetings and actually air them on Channel 21.
Would agree with that.
Could you, when you reach out to them, Kim?
Yeah. Tell them they're invited to come down. I didn't hear.
I didn't hear.
Tell them they're invited to come down.
Okay.
And do the same thing like you're doing in Phillipsburg.
No, you don't have to.
This was discussed years ago, and then we came back and said,
We're moving on. We're moving on. It's already addressed. There's too much time
No
on it.
letters, there's been no emails.
He just has to pick up the
there's
phone
been
call.
nothing.
It's okay.
It's a phone call.
It's not a big deal. Okay, Michael, and we're only look at this.
Roles and responsibilities as clerk.
9:10.
Not for that.
9:05. We're only 5 minutes behind schedule.
Wow, we caught up somewhere.
We did catch up
along the way.
somewhere. That's what happens when you
And
have.
some of your time was used with the JCP&L guy.
Well, yeah, the individual number 9 went way over time, I noticed, but that's okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that number 9, we have to get that reduced.
All right. Again, there's only a couple things we need to talk about.
That sounds good.
Okay, agreed. One thing, which is actually I just saw today, and maybe Brent, did you happen to see that news release from Christie today on the wastewater management plans?
No.
Okay. There was a news release, press release, I should say, that came out today that I received a copy of, and I didn't forward it to anybody. My apologies. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Okay, I got it, go ahead.
Did you get it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, basically, it was the governor stating how proud he was and happy he was that for the first time in a long time that the state was finally in compliance and was meeting the goals of the regulatory requirements for wastewater management plans. And it talked about the 21 counties, 20 of them are county plans except for Warren, and blah, blah, blah. And it went on to say, and this is the thing that killed me personally, cracked me up. It went on to say that everything now is adopted and approved.
And it's not true.
Really? And we are so far, not we, Greenwich.
Greenwich is ahead of the curve.
Greenwich too.
We're ahead of the curve, but we're not adopted.
All we are, I mean, there's nobody in this county that's approved. Zero.
That's right.
Well, maybe that's why you singled out Warren County.
No.
No.
We know. If you didn't know, if you weren't a Warren County person like me and didn't know what's
going on?
really going on, you would think, oh, boy, how
Everything's
about that?
great.
Isn't that great? DEP is doing their job.
Yeah. So needless to say, I'll send it out there tomorrow to everybody. It was interesting. It was borderline comical, to be honest with you. And I need to follow up on this. But it was interesting. Okay. And I wish it was all done because we're a long way from being done. Long way.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 8
I
years
mean,
we've been
it's
waiting.
like we're so far along. Okay, enough said.
Should I
That's not even.
should I send him an email?
Please.
I'm looking at Lorraine, and I just heard Elaine whispered to me, and we talked about this last month. We should just make it a standard step. When you're done with your reporting, if you want to go home, you can go home, because we have no more budgetary items. So to torture you through an entire meeting is really not necessary.
Not fair.
So, and by the way, for the record, it has nothing to do with Michael's presentation, so I don't want anybody to construe anything to that. It's just that I happened to, Elaine brought it up, I heard her whisper, so I thought I would address it. I mean, there's really no reason, right? I mean, once we get the information from Lorraine, you should be able to just leave. So From now on, at all of our
Do you
meetings, don't
need-
wait for permission. If we're done with whatever your specific presentation is, and we moved on beyond the budgetary issues, go home. Just go home.
Do you have your question answered about the email that I received about the constructing of the sidewalk, which is directly related to Mike?
Probably. I don't know what your email was.
The funding for it?
The funding?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, he was absolutely right. There was one, there's two accounts set up for, one in grant, one in capital. They
Got
should
it.
both be in capital, so I looked at capital, not realizing grant had $110,000
Right.
hanging out there, so yes,
Okay.
there's plenty of money for it.
Okay,
So,
good.
right, we're gonna have another windfall of money.
Lorraine, did the NAPA check clear?
Yes.
Okay, that's deposited and it's in.
You see what happens now when I say you can go home?
All right, and, okay, thanks.
Yeah, you can go if you
The
want.
sewer bill, we have a sewer bill out to NAPA yet?
Yes, they have not paid it. They have the sewer bill that was for the fourth quarter that was amended.
Okay.
And then first quarter for this year was a big one, it
Yes.
was 15,000.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because I haven't heard anything.
They let me in last week.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Not throwing rocks
That
at
was
you?
that was the first time, so I was worried, but they let me in.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have.
Because it's-
Where your
that
Kevlar?
one, the 15,000, and then the
Right.
next quarter. yeah.
Okay, because it's been
They haven't
silent
made
from,
payment yet. No.
it's been silent from the legal counsel, so I wasn't.
Oh, well,
We
that's
haven't
always the
received,
case.
We haven't received payment, and I did send the most recent billing out with a letter or correspondence
Okay.
to let them know that
All right, go home.
everything's been adjusted.
Okay.
And Sherry did speak with them on the phone to advise them that, yep, everything's been adjusted. Everything that should have been removed has been removed from the
Okay.
account, so
All right.
they should be good.
Okay, good.
All right, that's
All
it.
right, have a good night.
All right.
What's left of it?
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you, Lorraine.
I'm sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yes. The SRTS grant, I suspect you all remember seeing the letter that I sent out, that they came back and approved everything, so that's terrific news.
Yes.
We can now proceed. We couldn't do anything until the bill was paid, which is tonight, which I talked to Lorraine about, and that's, we're in good shape there. So these are all carried over. Are we gonna, are you having an executive tonight?
Yes.
Okay, open space, like
Yes.
contract, okay, fine. Okay, hold it right there. FEMA. Anything with the rumble strips? Is rumble strips a dead issue, or what, I mean?
No, we're supposed to send out letters or something like that, when we're supposed to send them out.
You looking at meetings?
That was my recollection.
Yeah.
But who was tasked with the responsibility?
I don't remember that.
No,
Not at all.
but I don't think
And that's,
we, you know,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
you know, I know it was said, you know, let's,
Yeah. That's my,
letters out.
that's my recollection. We decided we were gonna just do, those residents right on, like, I guess,
Here.
the particular bit.
Based upon a lengthy and detailed discussion which occurred at the March committee meeting, it is my understanding the township is attempting to notify all potentially impacted residents in order to get their approval prior to moving forward installation of strips. So,
Can you, I guess,
If someone can write a letter, I will send it out to the residents on South Main Street in the area.
I will be happy to draft a letter, and I guess I could circulate it to the township, to the township attorney.
Okay.
How about that?
Fine.
And basically, just so I understand the content of the letter, is going to state that we are considering placing rumble strips and I have to identify the area, I guess, right? We agreed we're gonna do it around the bend.
Yes.
And how am I gonna describe that in a
You
letter?
could- You could discuss that with Mike.
Why don't
I
I
think-
just?
I think the health
attach
officer
a
would
quick
be
little
able to help.
simple map and then we'll draw
Okay,
it
all
out.
right, so I'll work with you on
Yeah,
this.
yes.
Okay, I'll work with Mike.
Work with the health officer on that.
I'll work with the newly appointed health officer. I like that. That's what I'm gonna refer to you now as. I love that.
He's the HO.
And then what we'll say is the content of the letter.
The HO.
That's it. That's what we're gonna call it now.
I have,
We're considering rumble strips. We understand that they're refocus,
did you
guys.
finally get it? Oh my God.
That there's potential for noise, but there's also potential to slow traffic. We are soliciting the local residents' opinion prior to any action, which may be considered, and then just leave it at that. If you wish to, they should come. In the letter should say, come to a particular, like if we get it done now, come to the August meeting.
16th meeting.
To voice your opinion, or provide we really can't do a letter by then, they have to come, right? They get
No, we can do a
we
letter.
consider a letter or no?
You
read
sound
into
like
the
you
record.
framed out the whole letter.
I know.
I mean, that's
Did
it.
you see how fast his mind goes? Cha-ching.
Yeah, that's the letter.
All right,
Mike,
and I'll tell either by mail or
Yeah, if you
or
could just
come
read the
person.
letter into the.
Yeah,
into the
we'll
record.
give them the opportunity, whatever's convenient for them, and then we'll know, we'll kind of have a census, a
Like a
consensus.
September
Right,
meeting?
and then, what?
At the September?
We'll do it for the September meeting, because August, everybody's on vacation.
Vacation.
Yeah,
We'll do it for September meeting.
Well, there was also we talked about Washington Street too, remember, Dan?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we really need to figure out where we're gonna do this and who's
We'll
impacted.
do both. Let's just do it once. And then we can decide afterwards. But let's just do one notice and bring it. So it makes more sense. So
Okay.
I guess that was boring.
I guess it's
I was just gonna say.
government in action. Just for the record, observance of local government
Lasted.
retained the interest of my daughter for about 8 minutes.
Oh, and you forgot her boyfriend.
And her boyfriend.
8 minutes. And that should be no reflection again on the engineer, right?
Absolutely not.
The mayor either. No.
Or the mayor presiding over this.
Or his new acronym, the HO, it will take great offense. Dude,
That took me a minute, like, oh, whoa. That's
well, you of all people,
Yeah,
okay,
you of
back.
all
Can we
people.
focus again, please, folks?
Yes.
No, I wasn't referring to you, those people over there. Ravine Road, okay, with its under, I strongly encourage you to get all three parties, obviously, before you go forward.
So Kim,
Okay.
can you send out a directive to make sure that Lexi
Yes.
does this
And
and
apparently Mr. Hill is already.
He said he did. I'll look my
We're on
emails
his own.
again.
Okay,
We'll check.
gas company is in executive?
Yes.
Okay, skip that. And that brings us to the TE grant. Did everybody get that laundry list of stuff I emailed to everybody yesterday, the day before? Okay.
Yep.
Grant application went in on time, it's been accepted. There's a resolution that we need to do as a follow-up. Brent did a fantastic job putting it together. It's resolution 2012-68.
No.
69.
Oh, 69. Which is nothing more than the township support of the project, which was in a letter that I composed that the mayor signed. It was very nice of him to sign that letter for us. And it was a $100,000 grant basically for 3.32 miles of sidewalk, though, and handicapped access and so forth. But we might not find out until the beginning of next year if we even got the grant. Any questions? If not, I would certainly suggest a motion to adopt resolution 2012-69, and then Kim, I'm gonna need a certified copy so I can get that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any comment? Roll call.
Perez?
Yes.
Miliani? Yes. Torriello?
Yes. That it?
I believe that's it.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
All right.
Councilor Yeri.
I have no report. Everything I have is an executive session, but I see that we have a second reading on an ordinance.
Right. I guess since it's under you, I am assuming you're going to do the reading?
Okay, there's a second reading under an ordinance prohibiting commercial motor vehicles having a registered gross vehicle weight in excess of 4 tons on Strikers Road between the bridge over Lopatcon Creek and Warren County Route 519, with the exception that said weight restriction shall be suspended for commercial motor vehicles making pickups, deliveries, or goods or materials, or providing services to local businesses on the portion of Strikers Road situated between the bridge over Lopatcon Creek and Warren County Route 519.
Before we vote on
yeah.
this, I'd like a motion to open the matter up for public comment period, for public hearing.
Yes.
That's what we do.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance 2012-11, please come up to the podium, state your name. For the record, there are 3 members of the public here. No one has raised their hand. And since no one wishes to be heard, I would like a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I now have a motion to adopt ordinance 2012-11?
Make the motion.
Second.
Anyone wishing to be heard? Roll call.
Perez,
Yes.
Miliani,
Yes.
Toriello.
Yes. And now I would like a motion to go into executive session.
Public comment
Public
period.
I'm sorry. Did I? I'm sorry.
It's right at the
You're
bottom.
right. I'm sorry. A motion to open up for a second public comment period. Thank you.
Make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone wishing to be heard, please come up. Yes, there is a hand. So,
Angelo Fela, 729 Jackson. Just a reminder about the
Sunday?
Sunday,
Yes.
the award for Gordon Cobbler. It'd be nice if someone would come and be there for Gordon.
We're trying to get someone. I was going to be away that weekend, this weekend for vacation, and I know I asked Deputy Mayor to attend, but she's not quite sure. So if not, maybe we can have one of the other township committee
Where was
members
it Sunday?
attend.
Okay, it's going to be at the Old Town Festival, Sunday at 6 p.m. They're going to make the presentations, and we'll be at the bandstand. They're going to have the
At Walter's
Agnelli Orchestra, they're going to interrupt that, and they're going to have, there's going to be about 5 different awards that are going to be given out. He's going to be one.
Great.
If no one can do that, then we have.
And I let the fire department know they haven't responded, but hopefully somebody will come, and also the American Legion. Craig's going to be away, but maybe one of the other.
Yeah, I suspect either Elaine or Dan or both will be there.
Okay.
So I'm getting the sense there is going to be representation from the township.
I know Gordon's very excited.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
He showed me the letter today.
So,
Thank you.
okay.
Anyone else wishing to make public comment? A motion to close public comment?
I'll make the motion.
All those in favor? Aye. A motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussion contract negotiations, RLR enforcement, pending litigation of Greenwich Township and including Greenwich Township and John Ray Kennels, and contract negotiations, Elizabethtown gas easements.
I'll make the motion.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. We anticipate being in executive session for about 20 minutes.